Yo, what's going on, guys and gals? Welcome back to the channel. Check this out. We have a pretty quick but interesting video today about a 1979 Holden Commodore VH SLE found hiding in a barn for over 40 years. And did I mention it was a prototype? So you guys can educate me more in the comments if you knew about this or knew probably more about Commodores of this era. Maybe you had one of these, your family had one of these, whatever the case. This was a prototype, so I kind of want to see what was special about this and what they did with it and how it was different compared to maybe regular production Commodores of the time. This comes from Car Scoops. This is the site. So yeah, it says Australian barn finds don't get much more exciting than Holden fans than this unique Commodore VH prototype. Now, I don't know about much more exciting. I can picture a lot of BARNFIND Holdens that would be just as exciting as this. Personally, I'm sure maybe you guys would too, but it's interesting for sure. Anything with the, that was a prototype or really low production is interesting to say the least. What's shocking is this only went for 108,000 AU, so 108,000 Australian dollars, about 78,000 for me in American dollars. That's not that much. That's not that much. We were at Bear Jackson, right, about a month ago in Arizona, one of the biggest car auctions, and of course, you're dealing with a lot of rare cars there too, but a lot of them, go for 50 to 100 on the early days for the cheaper cars, and then a lot of cars go for over 100,000. So this isn't terribly expensive. They continue. This is the only one remaining of 3 prototypes Holden made for the VH series Commodore SLE, which was later produced between 1981 and 1984. It was given to a local training provider for studies. When the department closed down, a tutor grasped the opportunity and hid the vehicle, eventually saving it from the crusher. And this is something that I learned and was shocked to learn when I worked for a company, right? I worked for Chrysler for a long time when I was younger, and yeah, I learned that in the manufacturing process, believe it or not, they waste a lot of things. If things get damaged or if the weirdest things happen with, certain serial numbers or certain production issues, they will full-heartedly just crush a brand new car. And then, of course, you have press cars and all these different things that are perfectly working, awesome cars. But they, some cars just, if they don't have a VIN number, they use them for a couple years, show them off, and then it's a perfectly awesome, shiny car, and they will crush it. And it's kind of weird. So yeah, prototypes like this, if they're not saved, I suppose, would just be crushed because they're not street legal. Kind of weird, but it's I guess how it works. But yeah, I have to say this was in storage for 43 years. And let's just get to the pictures because this thing looks immaculate. It's always amazing to me that even though it's that old, and even though I guess if you don't drive it and you take care of it in a climate-controlled area, it's still spectacular to see something from that long ago that basically is brand new. It's really exciting. It says the paint is shining, and even though there are a few dents and missing lug nuts, it's nothing that can be fixed. It says this is not a static prototype, but rather a fully functional model based on a Commodore VB chassis, complete with an engine and a gearbox. So this is a full-on car, even though it's a prototype. That's awesome that it's a real car that you can put in gear and get it rolling. Crazy is it says, according to the listing, it's never been driven before, and it's supposedly proven by the odometer. So we'll have to take a look at that if they have a picture of it. And it says naturally, since GM retired Holden in 2020, limited production models and unique pieces of Holden history have skyrocketed in value. So if you have a unique Holden or a Holden on the rare side, I would keep it, right, for a little more. I'm sure they're going up and up and up in value. They're going to go up. So you got a good investment. You're lucky, and a lot of people probably want your awesome Holden because they're going to get more and more rare as the years go on because they don't even make new ones. So like that's happened recently. I can think of a couple cars. Ford GTs, like the supercar Ford GT was really rare. A more relatable one would be the Dodge Viper. They made more of those, but they're still very rare. And now that was such an iconic nameplate here in America, and once they stopped making the Viper, now it's been 2 or 3 years, right? And Vipers are right now really high value because you can't buy new ones anymore. So people are unsure, right? All of a sudden it becomes a scarce commodity, and people want a piece of history like that. And the more, you know, that they get wrecked or the more they get shipped overseas or something, you know, the less there are. And people want a piece of that. The car market is always really bizarre, especially when it comes to older cars and collector cars. But yeah, if we take some look at the pictures here, I mean, look at this thing. It's really weird looking. It's got that bizarre late 70s, early 80s design language. What is this about? That steering wheel is pretty ugly, if I may say. The lack of spokes is really throwing me off. It's like totally empty. It looks like it would just fall right off. I don't know, just because it's like, it doesn't look like it's connected to anything other than right here. So I think that's pretty bizarre. But I guess it gives you a good view of everything in front of it, the steering column and the gauge cluster, I guess. And it's weird to see a concept in this kind of, dare I say, boring color combo. Look at this. Oh my God. We have the kilometers per hour, of course, which is not what I'm used to, but yes. Obviously, this odometer would be read in kilometers then, not miles. So if we look at it, it's crazy how it says literally 000002. That is really, really low, super low. So it's pretty hard to believe that it's that old and it somehow has never racked up the mileage. It's bizarre. Yeah, if we get some more shots in the interior, it is immaculate. That is the right word. It is literally immaculate. It is a timepiece. Whoa, the trunk. The trunk's not immaculate. The trunk is kind of bizarre. We got some random stuff thrown in there. I don't know if it was supposed to have, like, you know, a more decorated trunk or just bare like that, but that is a little bizarre. I'll admit that. Now, what's funny is these wheels are rather ugly in my opinion. I don't know if there's supposed to be a center cap over these. I feel like there is, right? And it's funny how it's got some little surface rust right there. Then we have a 4.2 liter. So this was a small V8. Is that what I'm guessing here? Now what's funny is it has a VIN number, it looks like. If we see here, it has plates, right, with numbers. So any serial numbers and VIN numbers, I gotta admit, is kind of odd because usually prototypes and press cars would not have that. That's what I know, at least. So that is a little bizarre, but there you have it, guys. That's a look at this random 79 Holden Commodore. I saw this article on Google and I clicked on it. I thought it was pretty cool. I want to do more car news like this every once in a while because I used to do it and they're usually pretty fun and I get to learn a lot from you guys because this was fun for me. I like to learn about Australian cars, especially, you know, historic eras like this. And it's just interesting to see, especially when you're dealing with a rare car and or a prototype. Go ahead, and if you know, let me know down below about the whole prototype deal because this was a 1 of 3, supposedly a prototype, but I do find it odd that it had like a VIN number and stamps on there. So I don't know if you could tell me what that's about. I would appreciate that, but there you go. There you have it, guys. Someone said down here in the comments, 1979 prototype. It's just a rebadged 77 Opel Commodore. Opel would have been in Europe, correct? Opel Commodores there. So maybe you guys can tell me what that's about. Someone says in response to that there's a prototype for a facelift that was to come later in 81. So yeah, if you guys want to hash it out in the comments and educate me, go right ahead. There you go, guys. Please boost this video with a thumbs up and subscribe. We're close to 50K. I really do appreciate it. Check out that description for ways you can interact with my channel. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. What a timepiece. I'll catch you later.